Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Before we dive into today's incredible Dodgers update, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment down below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the biggest and boldest stories coming out of Los Angeles. Now, let's get into it, because today we have some shocking, emotional, and ultimately relieving news about one of the Dodgers' most important players, Will Smith. Dodgers fans were holding their breath, fearing the worst, but an X-ray has brought clarity, and we need to unpack what this means not just for Smith, but for the Dodgers' entire season. So picture this, it's late in the game, the Dodgers are locked in a tight battle, and Will Smith, who's been one of the most consistent and reliable bats in the lineup, takes a foul tip off his body in a way that immediately sparked panic. The crowd went silent, the players on the field looked shaken, and the cameras zoomed in as Smith showed visible discomfort. This is the kind of moment Dodgers fans have seen before with other stars' moments that can change the entire course of a season. Instantly, social media lit up with speculation, fans saying things like, "Please don't let it be serious," and "the Dodgers can't afford another injury right now." We all know what Will Smith means to this team. He's not just a catcher, not just the guy behind the plate calling games for one of the league's most dangerous pitching staffs. He's the anchor in the lineup, a consistent hitter who can come through in clutch situations, and a clubhouse leader who brings calmness and confidence. Losing Smith for any length of time would be nothing short of a disaster, especially in a year where the Dodgers already have high expectations and pressure weighing on them. As Smith walked off the field gingerly, holding himself in a way that suggested real pain, the entire Dodgers dugout looked frozen. Dave Roberts, usually quick to give encouragement, had that expression of uncertainty you don't want to see. The replay kept playing on the stadium screen, and every time fans saw it, the groans grew louder. You could feel that nervous energy ripple through Dodger Stadium, the kind of fear that sets in when you think you just witnessed the moment your season's outlook changes. Reports immediately started swirling, and the word X-ray was quickly thrown around. Anytime you hear that for a catcher, especially one who takes constant beatings behind the plate, you brace for the worst. Dodgers fans remembered how last season they lost players at crucial times, and the injury bug seemed relentless. So when Will Smith was escorted for tests, the entire baseball world paused for updates. Even MLB insiders were tweeting things like, "Fingers crossed for Smith, awaiting X-ray results." And then the relief came. The X-rays came back clear. That's right, no fractures, no breaks, no season-altering injury that would take him off the field for months. It was like the entire Dodgers universe let out a collective sigh of relief. Dave Roberts even said afterward that while Smith was sore, the team avoided what could have been a catastrophic blow. Roberts' exact demeanor showed how close the Dodgers came to a terrifying outcome. In baseball, where one freak injury can derail even the most stacked roster, dodging this bullet was massive. Now, let's talk about why this moment was so shocking and why the reaction was so intense. Will Smith is in many ways the unsung hero of this Dodgers dynasty run. While stars like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani grab the national headlines, Smith quietly does everything. He handles the pitching staff, he hits for average and power, he works counts, and he delivers in clutch spots. In fact, he's been one of the best hitting catchers in all of Major League Baseball, often ranking right at the top among his peers. Losing that production for even a few weeks would have forced the Dodgers to completely rearrange their lineup. Fans were already worried about the Dodgers' depth at catcher. Sure, they have backups, but no one brings what Smith brings to the game. His presence is irreplaceable. That's why the fear was so real, and the relief afterward felt like winning a playoff game. It was that dramatic. Imagine trying to march toward October without your reliable catcher. The thought alone was unbearable for Dodgers Nation. What's also worth noting is that Will Smith has had his share of bumps and bruises before. Catchers, by the nature of their position, take foul balls off masks, off arms, off legs, and it adds up. But Smith has always been known for his toughness and ability to grind through pain. That's part of why fans admire him so much. He's dependable. So when even a guy like him looked shaken up and forced to leave for tests, it hit extra hard. The Dodgers, meanwhile, know how fortunate they are. This season is all about big ambition, stacked lineup, top payroll, championship or bust mentality. They cannot afford to lose stars for long stretches. Already, they've been juggling pitching injuries and roster management challenges. Adding a prolonged absence for Smith on top of that would have pushed them into emergency mode. Instead, they got a break, and now they can refocus on keeping momentum in the standings. One of the fascinating parts of this whole situation was the way fans reacted online. Dodgers Twitter exploded with messages like, "Not Will Smith. Anyone but Will Smith. And this season is cursed if he's gone." That emotional reaction shows just how central he is to the fan base's confidence. Even neutral baseball fans chimed in, acknowledging that the Dodgers' success this year heavily leans on Smith's ability to stay healthy and productive. What happens now? Well, with the X-rays clearing him, the expectation is that Smith may need some rest, maybe a game or two off depending on soreness. But he's avoided the kind of nightmare scenario that keeps players out for months. Roberts and the coaching staff will surely monitor him closely, making sure he doesn't push too hard too quickly. They know how valuable he is for the long haul, and the priority is making sure he's 100% when the Dodgers need him most come postseason time. The story also highlights something bigger, the razor-thin margins in Major League Baseball. Think about it: one foul tip, one bad swing, one awkward slide can change everything. In Will Smith's case, it came down to a matter of inches. Had that ball connected differently, we might be sitting here discussing surgery, rehab, and how the Dodgers could possibly survive without him. Instead, we're talking about relief, gratitude, and moving forward with a full-strength roster. Baseball really is a game of moments, and this one was proof of that. From a performance standpoint, Smith has been phenomenal this season. His batting average, his power numbers, his on-base percentage, all of them make him one of the most consistent forces in this Dodgers lineup. He's been the guy setting the tone, protecting other hitters in the order, and giving pitchers nightmares because there's simply no easy out when he's at the plate. That's why this injury scare was so gut-wrenching. Fans immediately thought of how the lineup would look without him, and the picture wasn't pretty. For the Dodgers pitchers, too, this was about more than just offense. Smith has an incredible rapport with guys like Tyler Glasnow, Walker Buehler, and the bullpen arms. He knows how to frame pitches, how to call games, how to calm a pitcher down in tough situations. That kind of chemistry doesn't show up on stat sheets, but every pitcher will tell you it makes all the difference. Losing that connection mid-season would have forced pitchers to adjust to new catchers, possibly disrupting the rhythm of the entire staff. Now, while the Dodgers avoided disaster, this should also serve as a wake-up call. Depth is crucial, and they may need to seriously consider reinforcing the catcher position as they look toward the trade deadline. Having a reliable backup who can step in during emergencies is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for a team with championship goals. This close call with Smith might push the front office to prioritize catching depth even more, knowing that they came within a hair's breadth of losing their star. For fans, this was an emotional roller coaster. The moment Smith went down, the fear set in. The wait for results felt endless. And when the news finally broke that the X-rays were clear, Dodger Stadium might as well have erupted with cheers all over again. These are the kinds of moments that remind fans why they care so much, why baseball matters. It's not just about stats, it's about the heartbeat of the team, and Will Smith is exactly that for the Dodgers. So, here we are, Dodgers Nation. We stared down the possibility of losing one of the most important players on the roster, and somehow, we got lucky. Smith is still here, still fighting, still ready to go. The road ahead remains long, with plenty of challenges, but the Dodgers avoided a nightmare scenario, and that's something to celebrate. If you're a Dodgers fan, drop a comment right now. How scared were you when you saw Will Smith get hurt? And how relieved are you that the X-rays came back clean? I want to hear from you because I know every fan had their heart in their throat in that moment. Make sure you hit the like button if you're glad Will Smith is okay, and subscribe to the channel so you stay updated on every twist and turn of this Dodgers season. This is going to be one wild ride, and you don't want to miss a single second of